What's up, guys? Lord Beardo here, bringing you a brand new Clash Royale video, and you guys know what time it is. It is the 2v2. What is it? It's the 2v2. It's the 2v2 Extravaganza Championship, coming at you guys from my beautiful living room.
No, Lord Beardo, did you tell everybody about what happened?
Listen, guys, this may or may not be my very last YouTube video. I'm not sure, but we went on this crazy hike. I kind of explained that to you in the last video. We went on this epic hike, and I had a tick that was eating into the side of my body for hours that I didn't know about. Pretty weird, a little freaky. Ripping a tick out of your skin is not always fun, but so we may or may not be, this might be it for us, man. We might have some crazy tick disease, but hopefully not. I don't think so, but one may never know. All right, let's get into the 2v2 action. Let me give you guys some content that you actually want to hear, that you actually want to see. Now, I've been playing a lot of 2v2, especially on the first one, and then the first night it came out here, I was kind of going in like crazy. But I've learned a couple tips and tricks about the 2v2 that I wanted to share with you guys, because I've been noticing a crazy problem when people play 2v2. I find that my teammates are so overcommitted to their cause because they're used to playing 1v1 that they don't know how to piggyback off of somebody's cards in somebody's deck. Now, you can check what your teammate has by pushing that I above their name, or to the right of their name rather, when you're playing, and it will show you the next 4 cards in their rotation. Now, you can't have it up at all times. You got to hold on to it. It's perfect for when you're storing up your elixir. That is mainly what you're going to want to do. Now, you'll see right here, the matches today are going to be with my buddy Schleiss and Azza, both from Loot Nation, and we do a heck of a job. And what we do is we piggyback off of each other, man. If you are going to throw a goblin barrel, hold the goblin barrel over the base long enough for your teammate to recognize what you're doing. You don't want to play 2 logs at the same time, or a log and a zap at the same time. Every ounce of elixir counts so much, especially when you know that most people don't play 2v2 very well, because I just played some matches with my teammates, and then we were just like not even close to winning, and they were doing the same exact thing. They were dropping all their cards down. They were trying to do everything, and that is the opposite of what you want to do in 2v2. You want to use your cards. Perfect example right there. We played both a Skarmy and an Ice Golem. That is a complete waste of 5 elixir right there for a 3 elixir card. So you definitely want to make sure that you are on the same page. Be mindful. Make a deck that works out very well team-wise. That's what this video is about here. I would recommend trying this deck out here. It gives you an Inferno Tower. It gives you a Princess. It gives you a Hog. It gives you a lot of different things that allows you to play defense and offense. Not overly committing to tank cards, but having very good defensive structure cards. And of course, you guys know I love the mortar. I go in on the mortar. Absolutely think it's one of the best cards in the game. So underused. But it's hard to use, man. It's definitely hard to use. So I always play it right off the bat, because few people are really ready to play it, and you'll get a couple hits, man. If you get 3 or 4 hits off with a mortar, you have gotten the value of the mortar. And one thing you'll notice in this video is how many times my mortar actually destroys a tower, takes out a key piece of defense, smashes in these games, and no one is expecting to play a smart mortar. And you'll see right here, we're pushing right hand side with our Hog, and he's gonna go ahead and play down his giant skeleton. And this match right here gets a little shaky quick. Now, he's got the fire spirits out, the battle ram out. I'm gonna get the Inferno. It's gonna get slammed down, and there comes that poison spell. Also a very, very important card to play when you're doing 2v2 is poison. I would say do not leave home without a poison or without a rocket, either or. You want to be able to have a big powerful card to stop a bunch of stacking of troops, because that's what happens a lot. There's a humongous stacking of troops. Now, we push that right hand side. Miner does well, Goblin Barrel does well. we are able to make this a one tower game. We throw out the well played. We get ourselves involved in a little bit of pre-log on that left side. Doesn't work out too well. And this is always going to be my push. My main push in this deck, and I really recommend you guys try it, is to use the Ice Golem and Hog together. Use your log as anticipation for their hog, or say a miner, or even a goblin barrel. Goblin barrel is huge used in the 2v2s, and you could have your teammate play it in the beginning of the tower, and you could go ahead and log it. Now check it out. Homie waste his log. We're able to get a couple stabs off from those goblins. The Three Musketeers, take those mortars down in about 1 second flat. Now they have 1174 on their left tower that we need to get to. Here comes that battle ram. Only second time he was able to play, and check out our push. We got our hog smashing the tower, and we haven't even really had to play that many Inferno tower on the defensive side. So really stoked about this deck. Honestly, any teammate that I've played with so far who knows it all about how to play 2v2 or who's smart with their counters, we didn't lose. Like, we did not lose when I was using this deck. So I don't know, maybe it was just because we got good synergy, but the people who are wasting a lot of their elixir and not stacking it up, and using team pushes, we did struggle. But I feel like, who wouldn't, Mortar clutch, Mortar taken down, I believe, one tower this round, and in the last video taking a tower down. So guys, don't sleep on the Mortar, man. The Mortar is a strong card, and we're gonna jump into 2 more matches here with Azza. And if you guys also want another good 2v2 deck, definitely jump to the couple videos back in my channel. I got 2 separate 2v2 videos that break down another very complimentary deck, and that's what I like to play. I almost feel like I play better in 2v2 than in singles, because I'm just a team-oriented thinker. I don't know. That is a very bad start right here, though. The Electric Wizard, he's going to freeze up the e-Wizard, gets down the Skarmy. That works out very well against his Electric Barbs. We got our minions over the top. A minions, a very, very solid card to use. Very cheap, great piece of defense, and there goes the miner. So in this one with Azza, we got a double miner chip deck basically, and being that he has the mirror and he's got the poison and he's got the goblin barrel, he has so much offensive push. So one of the things that I'm going to do is support his offensive pushes by playing solid defense, using my princess very well, making the opponents spend a lot of elixir, stopping the princesses from stacking up. Now, one of the big things that I used in my last deck, in one of the other 2v2 videos, was the mirror card. The mirror card is so cool to be able to just stack up princesses or e-wizards. There's so many fun cards you can use, but this deck in particular has worked out really well, and the mortar is just so tricky. You'll see we keep sending miners, we got princesses helping out, and I have a really, really awesome tight princess finish, I believe, in the next video, which I'm pumped about. Now check this out. Samwise and JD got to be pumped about that start right there. They know they have freeze, they know they have balloon. We pull it off to the side. Here comes the mortar. The minions are in place, and the miner is in place. One mortar hit. Here we go, baby. Let's see how many we can stack up here. Give it a second mortar hit. That minion's going to do really good work, and they're able to take down our mortar. But look at 541. There goes the attack with the miner. There's the princess at the bridge, and she is going to get one more shot in, and now we have the ability to play some defense right here. And here's another push that looks like they have the cards to take care of us, and with the miner pulling off those e-barbs, they don't know what to do, man. Here it comes. He's got his balloon, and then we're gonna throw down a building right there. E-Wizard, they're pissed about it. They're steaming from the ears. Great defense. Azza's one of our better defenders in our clan. We're just gonna go ahead and toss down some poisons, toss down a miner. We just gotta play defense for 15 more seconds, and that's the way we do it, man. We're just complementing each other. If you watch very closely, when you're winning or losing, it's because you're not playing as a team. You are trying to push all in on your offensive cards and do everything on your own, and then when they send a push, you're spending all in on your defenses, and what happens is both players at both times end up spending all of their elixir, and then they have nothing left to finish off the tower. Instead, complement each other's decks. Talk about it in your clan. Hey, you don't need that card. Hey, use that card. Hey, let's kind of mold and shift. It's not about playing 1v1 together and seeing who's the best. It's about molding your decks together. Now, again, always pushing quick off the bat with that mortar. Let's count how many we get in here. We get 2, so not that impressive. I always like to get 3 or 4 with the mortar, but here comes their big push. Now, there is that defensive building right there, the Inferno Tower playing very well, and the poison spells also doing very well, and that's not a bad push, man. 1753, but they are tapped out. They can't continue to keep the heat up, and now we have a miner shooting under the bridge and our fire spirits hitting the building with just one of them, but that little bit of chip damage, that stacking up, waiting for the fire spirits, being smart about how you're spending your elixir is so important. Very importante, one might even say. And now look it, we are going to use our miner for a bit of defense. One might say, hey man, that was a terrible miner. That miner helps take down that hog, preserve our furnace, which is going to help out with our fire spirits. Here comes the mortar. Can we play defense against this Valkyrie? Yes, we keep our mortar alive. It's already got 1 blast, 2 blasts. Can we get a 3rd blast off? Come on, mortar. There it is. Making contact, 1329 to 1225. Decent matchup. These guys were actually pretty good. We're going to go ahead and send the miner in, send the goblin barrel, get a bunch of chip damage away. We're down to 713, and now we just have to play solid defense, and that's one of the things that we've been doing very well. Now, this team, they didn't have they should have just, honestly, they should have just put away the tornado spell. That thing's a waste of time. I mean, some people use the tornado very well if their deck is synergized properly, but don't try getting cute and fancy when you first start doing the 2v2s. Win a couple battles first, figure out what works with your team. Check out this last mortar taking down the tower with that poison spell. Don't tell me my mortar ain't good. Don't tell me that. I've been showing videos left and right here today about that mortar pulling down towers. It is aggressive. It is an immediate you have to play card. That is one of my favorite things about this game, is when you have to play on a card. The princess, you have to kill her. You can't just leave her up. She will tuck herself in a spot in the map and she would just rain terror down on you. Mortar is the same thing. You have to play on the mortar. Golem, balloons, certain cards where you are forced to play defense on them. Now they actually go ahead, play very well on our left-hand tower with the fireball, but check out the mortar combination with the miner. That tornado spell doing a little bit of damage to get that miner away, but come on, how many was that? 4 mortar shells, 1562 on the right-hand side. I gotta say, MVP of this match might be the mortar. I don't know. Could be Ozza in general, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it's the mortar, my favorite card that I've been trying to work with. And the 2v2s are just so fun to work with it. Now, one of the things I wanted to do in this match was to keep the pressure on. Now, I knew that they didn't have a lot of reach. They just had that fireball. Here comes that miner, so I guess they did have a little bit of reach with the miner and the fireball. And they're going to use that rage very successfully, but they have spent almost all of their elixir. Here we go. We got our hog. Here comes their Inferno Tower. They're able to pull off one of the goblin barrel goblins. Goblin barrel goblins? Goblins? Goblins are in the goblin barrel. So the goblin, couple stabs. He's going to double down Ozza with his goblin barrel. No stabs that time. The Skarmy takes care of everything, and here comes that fireball. Another balloon comes down. And then the rage spell. He's pulling the fire spirits away. Ozza, super reactive with the furnace, was able to save us on that one from getting destroyed. Miner gets played by the Skarmy. The Musketeer has been distracted the entire time. Mortar down. Musketeer back. Here it comes. Here comes the poison spell. Now our mortar did get completely distracted on that one, which kind of stunk. But here comes my clutch princess play. How dope was this? On the right side of the river, 8 left, boom. Little beardos, give this deck a try. It is so much fun to use. The mortar is so fun to use. Don't get frustrated right away if you guys lose with it, because you need to have synergy with your teammate. So make sure that your teammate knows that you have the mortar and that you're trying to leave the mortar. You're trying to start matches with the mortar and also finish matches with the mortar. You want to play around those. Peace out, beards. See you guys soon.